Last time on Herb Vendor. So there I was, doing my best to avoid the stockade's entrance area. Not because I hate the instance or anything, but because I was arrested and thrown into them the last time I played. This might sound weird, but this is actually a normal thing here on RP servers. Breaking out of jail, though, is not, and that's exactly what I had done. At the time of my brazen escape, I thought it was literally no big deal. I mean, it's a video game. Who cares, right? I'll tell you who. The Stormwind City Guard. No, not the NPCs that wander around and remind you where the mining trainer is. I'm talking about the guild here on Moonguard. A collective group of players role-playing as police. They've been around for a while, and for whatever reason have some sort of an odd political power on the server. It's like people legitimately fear them. I shit you not when I tell you that after the whole arrest/breakout ordeal, I had multiple people leave my guild out of fear of the guard. It was a pretty polarizing point in time for the guild. I wasn't really used to managing a guild, let alone managing any guild drama. I decided the best step to take was to distance myself from the situation altogether. The next week and a half was spent doing PvP. Oh, and I finally got those transmog shoulders I was trying to get. Normally I would have planned a group hangout to flex them on my broke-ass non-leaf shoulder-having friends, but there was an even bigger opportunity coming up. The Tournament of Ages. The website describes it as Games, Glory, and Community. The Tournament of Ages is an annual Warcraft roleplay event on the Moonguard US server that hosts a week of fun events, community activities, and a charity fundraiser. I would sum it up more accurately to chaos. But the good kind of chaos. Basically, it's a 24-hour-a-day, almost week-long event that's completely ran by players. From the outside looking in, I'm sure you're just like, oh, cool, hella people just sitting around talking. But no, it's way more than that. People host dueling competitions, there are food booths that people make whole-ass custom menus for, mount competitions, dancing, Dr. Robotnik from Sonic. There's literally like so much shit, and I wanted to do all of it. Before I knew it, the day of the event was finally here, so I flew to the location excitedly. The Argent Tournament grounds. I was a little early for the opening ceremonies, but there were still a ton of people. The Horde was having a parade of sorts, boasting their communal brotherhood. The Alliance were selling pastries. As the opening ceremonies got closer, I made my way to the tent thing where they were being held. This was when the size of the event really hit me. My frames went from, decent to like 5. A shitload of people was an understatement. At this point, Weed Elf had whispered me and was also at the event. We were trying to find each other to sit down, but the only place we could actually get to was on top of a little building. The view was alright, but I wanted to sit in the bleachers really bad. I noticed people were using the cushion devices to glitch into them, so I made my way over and got in. I kinda regretted it instantly because I kept bugging out and levitating and couldn't even sit down. Eventually I got into a comfortable area and was able to view the very laggy but very elaborate opening ceremony. After the ceremony, I caught up with some friends and decided I'd get some food. The selection was pretty damn wild. There were dozens of booths set up, all serving different types of dishes. I found a map of the event with each booth numbered, designating which was which so we could decide easier. We ended up going with this one. This was the first time I realized that I had a poverty palette in-game. I was presented for the first time with a choice of luxuries like poutine or gulai duck. Most of the time my character is munching down on boiled eggs or glasses of milk. So it was nice seeing a more cultured variety of food. I ended up ordering something pretty good. Altogether, it was a neat experience, and if there were a Yelp for this, I'd give a positive review. Also, there was a lady in front of me that had one of her boobs kind of out. 5 stars.
Howdy. Hi. I was wanting to make 2 orders. Can I get a box of fried chicken pieces with herb fries for my friend here?
Of course.
As for me, I was wanting to have some of your spicy strider wings, hot dog octopuses, and carp-shaped bread.
Spicy sauce for the chicken. We also have honey mustard or zesty ranch.
Zesty ranch, please.
And here is yours.
The rest of the night was fun. I sold some herbs and made some new friends. I even ran into Pelvis Wesley and got to see him perform again. It was such a euphoric way to end my first night at the Tournament of Ages. It seemed like the second night was really when things started to pick up pace. The crowd was bigger, there were more booths, and even a few more events planned. The first was a dance party. Someone made us all sparkle, and I shook my ass really, really hard. The second event was a meet and greet with Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Sure, a little off color for him, but I was a huge fan as a child and really wanted to ask about different cultural depictions of turtles. We ended the night by getting to finally meet Cute Little Red's best friend they'd always brought up, some elite player who had recently resubbed. It was unfortunate that they had the social skills of a jar of mayonnaise. I really didn't understand what was so special about our friend group needing to meet this person. Cute Little Bread had made it a big deal that we all get along and enjoy the evening together. Weird. They ended up just walking off after a while, and I just explored the booth variety for the rest of the evening. The third night, I had signed on a little earlier than my guild. As much as I wanted to pretend to get virtual drunk or eat grilled meats prepared by a moth, I knew it'd be polite to wait for the group. I figured I'd do something productive for once. There was an add-on I'd been using that I still hadn't quite fully configured. An add-on deemed nearly essential by the RP community here on Moonguard. TRP Extended. TRP, or Total Roleplay, is an add-on designed for your seasoned roleplayers, like everyone here at the Tournament of Ages. It allows you to give your character a custom name, viewable by other players also using the add-on, as well as granting you the ability to give your character a brief biography, also viewable to others. Most of the time, this add-on is used for pretty interesting and serious stuff. If you're in Goldshire, however, things are a little bit different. You've got interesting characters like this guy here. Looks like he's looking for something specific. I hope you find it, friend. My profile I decided to keep simple. I went ahead and left vivid details of my genitalia out of it. The real meat and potatoes of TRP Extended, though, is the extended part. You're able to create your own custom items, kind of like the booths here at the event had done with their food dishes and other offerings. I was just finishing up my custom profile within the add-on when Weed Elf signed on and hit me up. I hadn't seen him since the laggy-ass opening ceremony, so I was stoked to chill with him.
How goes it, Weed Elf, my lord?
体の動きをコントロールする自律神経のうち交感神経が温泉サロン密林の
He wasn't lying. The Justice League was actually here, with friends in tow. They brought this half-dog, half-wolf thing. It was doing a cool army crawl, or it was crippled. He might not have even been a part of the group. I don't want to be ableist. One person who wanted to be a part of the group, however, was Shampoopy. He brought his alt, He-Sham, in an attempt to establish some sort of an Axis alliance with the Justice League. They were not down.
Weed Elf, will you allow us to bless you with the power of justice?
半身浴でリラックス体の動きをコントロールする自律神経のうち交感神経が優位に立った
Look at him go. Oh my god, his feet have guns?
ているとなかなか眠気が訪れませんぬるめのお湯に胸の下までゆっくり浸かる半身浴は
I knew he had something cool planned for us, so I was excited to see where we'd end up.
心身ともにリラックスさせ睡眠へといざないます半身浴でリラックス体の動きをコントロールする自律神経のうち交感神経が優位に立つ
The Penguins. In my Argent Tourney Grounds?
ているとなかなか眠気が訪れませんぬるめのお湯に
You kirbied them, Crankwell.
Even though we didn't have our penguins, we still had a pretty good night. The RP adventures with Weed Elf were becoming one of my favorite things to do in-game. The fourth night of the event, or El Noche del Cuatro as it's known around my computer desk, was going to be a doozy. It was the night pretty much my entire guild was going to be on, as well as the night Weed Elf was going to be in a rap battle. Yeah, I don't know why that was a thing. When I opened up Discord to check and see who was on, I noticed I had a DM from our old friend Buddy Beatdown.
I'm gonna state this, and state this once as respectfully as I can. I never stated that we were going to merge. The guild was a partnership where both names were to be seen in the same place as events, not as one guild, but two. I don't know where this was gotten from. It does not matter. I will be taking my leave from the game entirely.
This was weird. I mean, my last messages to him before this one were pretty sociable and cordial. Literally nothing negative had gone on between us in the majority of the time I had known him. Nor did I ever insinuate the merging of our guilds together, like, at all. The only thing I can think of this possibly referencing was cute little Bread and Shampoopy leaving his guild for mine. And let me remind you, this is something they both did on their own accord. I didn't ask either of them to leave their guild and join mine. There wasn't even any shit talking done about him on their part. I really wanted to get to the bottom of it, so I figured I'd just whisper him in game. He had unfriended me. Oh well. He had blocked me. Plan B. But he always, and I mean always, hung out in Goldshire. Doing what? I don't know. I'm not here to judge what a Colteron dude wants with Draenei dude feet. Maybe he's like RPing as a shoe designer. I don't know. I was surprised as hell to see nobody. I checked around the building, down the street, even upstairs. As I was checking the basement, I noticed someone yell something. Holy shit, it was Crazy Bob. That unhinged degen Tauren hunter I had met during the whole Diablo 4 phasing shit. Loco Bobby here was from another server, and I'm assuming would shard over in groups to mess around on Moonguard. He may have been scared to go in the inn, but I was able to talk him into checking out the Tournament of Ages. There was a lot going on that night, and we'd made it just in time to see the dueling tournament. These aren't traditional WoW duels we're talking about. These are D&D style dice rolled moderated fights.
Bob got stick. Look, Bob stick.
That's a massive weapon, Bobby. Be careful with that thing.
Bob is sitting.
This is true.
Bob wants to see blood. Where is blood?
Oh, he's getting stronger. He turned into a dog. So one of them's just sitting down. Are they fighting? I don't really understand. Oh, Crazy Bob. No, Crazy Bob. No, Crazy Bob. Oh, God.
Bob enters the ring. Bob wants to fight.
Respectfully, he turned around and left the arena. It was the only sane thing I'd ever seen Crazy Bob do, but it was clear the idea of violence had enthralled him, maybe too much. I knew I needed to calm him down. Perhaps some exotic foods would ease his mood, as well as broaden his cultural horizons. I had selected a 3-course meal of smaller appetizers, or tapas as they're referred to in Spain. Well, Bob didn't want the appetizers. He didn't even want to wait, because he sat his ass down and started helping himself to some random people's meal.
Bob eats food vendor food cart.
Line cutter.
Nom 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 nom.
And line sniffer too.
Bob hungry.
Can't Bob wait his turn?
Fart. Oh no, I ate all the food.
Bob spent the rest of the night hanging out with my friends and I, and even trying his hand and talking to some ladies.
Bob like pretty ladies.
Before I knew it, the night was over, and who could be mad after hanging out with Crazy Bob? The final night of the event was a massive dance, or technically a massive ball, but I have a hard time calling it that without laughing. It was a formal affair with dress code and even costume contests. Held right outside of Ulduar and the Storm Peaks, everyone at the event I had met was excited for it. Even my guild members were planning on attending. I didn't go. What I did get was a totally random behavior warning a day or two later. I didn't even know these had existed until this point, but I guess if enough people report you, you get this slap on the wrist right here. I still to this day don't know exactly what these are or what they add up to, but a few of my friends have told me that if you get too many, you get like a temporary ban, or maybe a communication block for a few days, basically making you unable to type in-game. I was confused, but more so kind of freaked out. I'd had my same WoW account since vanilla, and I didn't want to lose it to some troll bullshit. I also didn't know how serious the people who were reporting me were or how far they'd take it. I didn't want anything to bleed over into other stuff outside of WoW. The YouTube channel had recently gotten monetized, and I had just hit 500 subs on Twitch. Things were going pretty good, and this wasn't what I needed. Avoiding Moonguard altogether, and even retail at that point, I figured I'd just play my heavily neglected Wrath Classic character. I logged in, started questing, and within like 5 minutes got another behavior warning. This one I 1000% did not understand because I hadn't even talked to a single person in game. No offense to the bots in Borean Tundra, they seemed very chill. This had to be a targeted attack, but what had I done? More like, what had my guild done? I'm not blaming anyone here, and I definitely started it the night they arrested me, but a few of my guild members had been getting pretty wild with messing around with the Stormwind City Guard. I'll be honest, I don't know how much further it went beyond throwing white smoke flares at them a bunch, but they were not happy. So unhappy that they took to the WoW forums in an attempt to get the entire guild banned. Having a guild with this much pull on the server pissed off at me wasn't the best thing. People started not signing on. People started leaving the guild. I'd sign on and it would only be that small core group of OG members we started with. I figured as long as they were around, we were still the same old guild. Then, as if things weren't already bad enough, Cute Little Bread had some real shitty news for me. Turns out, Buddy Beatdown was spreading rumors that the guild and I are homophobic. That's completely not true, like, at all. And those of you watching this that know me, that are in, like, the guild or whatever, you guys know that's bullshit. Which makes the accusation even worse, because Moonguard is an extremely LGBTQ-friendly server. It was pretty obvious it was a weird smear campaign designed to get me to, I don't know, stop streaming or posting on YouTube or something. I don't know. But the guild started to develop a bad reputation on the server, to no fault of our own. Members were starting to get exiled from RP events, not invited to groups or raids or whatever, ignored. It was pretty shitty. The new negative reputation was enough to scare off our guild officers. Cute Little Bread went first, then Autorunner. Even the event planning staff that would set up our guild events left. With no promise of weekly or monthly fun get-togethers, a lot of those fringe members left the guild too. I didn't know what I needed to do, but I knew I needed to restore our name.
Next time on Herb Vendor.